A state representative from North Texas, from Royse City specifically, has hired an attorney to defend himself in a misconduct investigation involving a staffer. Texas State House leadership, investigators not commenting on the allegations, but reports based on the complaint say Representative Bryan Slaton had an inappropriate relationship with an intern who's under the age of 21. Fox 4 Stephen Dial joining us live with what we've learned so far. Stephen.
That's right, Steve. We do not know if the House Investigative Committee is looking into claims against Royse City Republican State Representative Bryan Slaton, but today we learned he hired legal representation to defend him against allegations of an alleged inappropriate relationship with an intern.
A quorum is present.
Monday, when the Texas House returned from Easter break, Republican State Representative Bryan Slaton from Royse City was back on the floor. He was absent Thursday during the House debate and vote on the state budget. And now we possibly know why. The Texas Tribune obtained an internal complaint filed with the House, alleging Slaton had a, quote, inappropriate relationship with a female intern under the age of 21. The Texas Tribune says the report was given to the House General Investigative Committee by a legislative staffer. The report claims Slaton allegedly called the intern after 10 p.m., inviting her to his Austin condo on March 31st. According to the complaint reported by the Texas Tribune, Slaton allegedly drank alcohol with the intern, who is under the age of 21. Monday, Slaton's Rockwall attorney, Patrick Short, was named as his legal representation. Short released a statement. He did not address the specifics of the complaint, but said, quote, "We are aware of outrageous claims circulating online by second-tier media that make false claims against Representative Slaton. As a result, he has been advised to forward all inquiries in this matter, including any that may relate to a possible complaint, to his legal counsel." After the alleged incident, the report says Slaton showed the intern fake emails that purported to have information about the incident and what appeared to be something of a loyalty test. Slaton then allegedly told her not to tell anyone about the incident. Thursday night, fellow conservative Republican Representative Briscoe Cain sent this tweet saying, quote, "I am absolutely furious at a Republican whom I believe to be a sexual predator. I've never been so ticked off at another legislator. He should resign now." In response to the tweet, someone said to Cain, quote, "Being silent on predators is condoning, if not outright endorsing their behavior." To which Cain responded, quote, "Everything has been reported. No one is protecting Representative Slaton." We asked House Speaker Dade Phelan for comment in response to these allegations. In a statement, Phelan said, quote, "The Texas House does not tolerate misconduct or other inappropriate behaviors and takes all allegations related to these issues seriously. I expect this matter to be addressed in a swift and thorough manner under the rules governing our chamber."
So this would be basically an ethics investigation, but in terms of the House, that would happen in the investigative committee. The chair of that committee on Thursday posted on his Facebook basically saying that they do not confirm or deny if there is an investigation into a member, and they would not confirm if there's an investigation or a pending investigation. So a lot of unanswered. We'll have to wait and see if there's something actually happening if that committee says anything.
Right. All right. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are putting out there on social media, though, so it'll be talked about now, probably out in the open. All right, Stephen Dow, thank you very much for reporting live.